So.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch UK Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to Paranormal Concept right here on Parasearch UK Radio with your host, Paul Brook.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Paranormal Concept Show. I'm your host, Paul Rook, and, well, what an interesting show we've got for you tonight. Kerry is still off away on a break. She's had enough of the radio for 2 weeks, so I'm going to be doing the shows on my own. But tonight, I've got a very, very special guest presenter for tonight, Steve Collier. Hello, Steve.
Hello.
Hello, long time no see, isn't it, eh? It's nice to have you back on the show.
And yourself. Well, yourself.
Well, I'm always on it, to be fair. Well, except when I'm away, I suppose, but... Oh, dear. Well, we thought we'd talk about some old wives' tales tonight. You must have heard of a few.
Yes and no. Not with the paranormal, more with... normal day life, but not with paranormal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what have you been up to this week? Anything exciting?
Well, I've been working, and yesterday we went on a bit of an impromptu investigation. We went over to an old abbey. Not much really. We've done a little bit of filming, and but that was about it, really. We've got one of our investigations coming up on Saturday. We're going to a really, really interesting location. But I'm not going to go into...
Okay, I was going to say anything you can talk about.
No, because I've potentially got two of my mediums listening, so I don't really want to spill it to them.
Okay, that's fair enough. You can tell me all about it on the after-show party. Yeah, so cool. The other week we went to... Baconsthorpe Castle with you, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what did you get on that investigation? Anything?
Well, we've got a few bits. We're still going through a lot that we're debunking at the moment, but there was one particular incident that actually happened where one of the mediums said that there was one of these spirits that was attracted to one of these chairs. One of the deck chairs that we're using to sit down on, and picked up the deck chair, and he said, "I don't want this chair in here. I want it to go." Basically, stuck it near enough outside, and the whole chair just moved. Now, considering that on that night there was a lot of wind,
yeah,
it's just going through the finer details of that particular find on that.
They're quite light as well, aren't they? Those chairs.
They certainly are. But we had some other bits as well go on. We had the two mediums stood there, and they turned around and said they could hear a dog barking. And we were thinking, this is a bit crazy, can't really hear anything. And then we went back over the voice recorder, and we actually found what sounded like a dog barking.
Awesome.
So,
cool. Did you find out about those? Because you put those light things around, didn't you? The stick lights.
Yeah, the grid lights.
Yeah. Did you find anything out about the blue ones? Because it was the blue ones that seemed to be almost flickering in the darkness, wasn't it? So
yes. Well, we used them last night.
Yeah.
And nothing actually happened with them. They all stayed normal. They didn't run out. They didn't start flickering. It could have been because we weren't using them long enough. But that was really weird. It was standing there, and you could actually see these the glow sticks, weren't they? That's what they call them.
Yeah, that's it. That's the word I
And
was
they were
trying to
just
think of.
fading in and fading out, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether or not it's because of the whatever chemical they use to make the blue light colour. It could have it could be affected by the cold, because it did only seem to be just the blue ones that were affected.
It certainly was, yeah.
So I don't think that was anything paranormal, but I think it does need looking into just for your own satisfaction. You know.
Yeah, it certainly warrants that. And I think if we're using the blue ones in future, we can rule that sort of thing out now.
Yeah, or just don't use them. That's it.
You
want one to
they're gonna
work.
have to come.
That's how I can imagine you going around the shops now and pulling out all the blue ones. Oh, that'd be funny.
It's not a bad idea, though, is it? Getting those things as a safety indicator to show where the dangers are and things like that, especially in the dark.
That's it, indeed. I mean, yeah, there's been plenty of times when you've been walking down fields and stuff and you fall down a rabbit hole. Yeah.
But then, like, for instance, like last night, we've gone out and done this investigation. We're doing these bit of filmings for this for the group, trying to get ourselves a little bit further out there, doing the recording. Using myself, use a selfie stick. Not very often use them, but I thought I'm going to have a go at it.
Don't get Richard started on selfie sticks.
Well, I thought, you know what, I'm going to use it, and I'm standing there and I'm walking around recording for one of our groups, and I've done this massive 5, 6, 7, 8 minute video, and I tripped over a part of a gravestone and fell over, and the camera come out and all that sort of stuff. And I got back and I thought, you know, I'm going to show the guys this video because I thought it was quite good, and I realised I didn't even click the record button.
Oh dear, only you could do that.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. But we're definitely, both me and Richard said that we're definitely going to have to come up and see you again and come and do another investigation with you. That was a good night. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and you could bring some of your equipment up.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, we didn't realise that we was going to be out that night, so yeah. Anyway, let's go back to the whole old wives' tales and strange but true. I know Kerry in particular. She was really looking forward to the show. She wanted to know about does lightning turn milk sour? Have you ever heard that?
Never heard it. Never.
Well,
heard it.
Apparently it does. Well, it did. Let's say. Apparently, going back years ago when they used to put the milk into old wooden churns, or whatever they call them, the electricity from the bolt of lightning would increase, obviously, humidity and stuff, and the bacteria. There'd be more bacteria in the milk than there is after the pasteurised and stuff we get now. So it almost like increased the bacteria quantity in the milk and made it separate into curds and whey. So effectively, it did turn the milk sour. And yeah, I mean, as soon as they came into the era when they started substituting wood for tin or metal, it reduced that. And obviously now we've got the pasteurised process and stuff. It's very rare for that to happen. So there you go. That's answered that one for Kerry. But I think she knew that anyway because I think she researched that. So now we put that old wives' tale to bed. Let's start on some more. Have you looked into any or not?
I haven't really looked into any, but I do know some of the old wives' tales and some of the old superstition things and stuff like that, like you're walking underneath a ladder, having a black cat cross in front of you. You got like the gold ring rubbing underneath your eye to get rid of the what's the thingies on your styes. You've got things like the gold ring on a chain on a piece of string, hanging it over the stomach of a pregnant woman to indicate the birth.
Yeah,
the tendril of the baby. There's quite a few out there, isn't there?
yeah, definitely. I mean, the one that when I was a kid, I always used to sit right on top of the TV, and was always like, if you sit too close to the telly, you'll go blind. Did your mum ever say that to you?
Yes, she did. And do you know what the funny thing is? I have
Go
a
on.
VR headset now.
Oh, so do I.
That throws that wives' tale out the window, doesn't it?
It does a bit, somewhat, but yeah. I mean, the same is always said of reading in dim light, as well. That it was always that sort of thing. But in fact, neither of them are true. Apparently,
Yeah.
they don't damage the eyes whatsoever. But spending too much time in front of the TV isn't good for kids because obviously it can lead to problems with the circulatory system, becoming overweight, aggressive, and apparently slower in school, whatever that means. Take that whatever way you want. Um, but I did look into this a little bit, and it seems to originate from back in the 60s when TVs used to emit up to 100,000 times more radiation than the federal health officials consider to be safe. So that's sort of, I think that's where it all originated from.
Hmm.
Yeah, so there you go. So that could even account for the green children of Woolpit. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's why
Yeah.
they were green. They sat in front of that TV for too long. Yeah,
There's one old wives' tale superstition I have heard of, and that is that when you die, the corpse can come back to life, kind of thing, a bit like a zombie.
yeah,
Okay, now knowing a little bit about it, it is an old wives' tale that these corpses have the potential to coming back to life, but you have a little bit with science that's in there, and they actually do move after death. Some of them. And it's just exactly the same as when you chop a chicken's head off and it runs
yeah,
around in the garden. Okay, sometimes the muscles actually still move. They might twitch. So it's you can see where probably the zombie sort of thing come after it. On all those times in the olden days where the person would die and then suddenly they start twitching.
yeah.
So you can kind of figure it out where that sort of thing come from on that.
Well, that's it. I mean, yeah, if someone gets decapitated, for example, they've still got electrical impulses going into the muscles, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
what causes the spasms. But also, you'll get this more in mortuaries and stuff, where there's build-up of gases inside the body, and
yeah.
obviously the gases are looking for any orifice to escape from.